South Africa is doing the damn thing. Let me just say, that's where I'm at with it. I think me thinks that our South African watch list is going to get that much longer, Tiera.
Yeah.
If there's more like this, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Count us in. Yes.
So today we are going to be reviewing Heart of the Hunter, which recently came out on Netflix. It's it's number one in multiple countries. It's doing its thing, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer. We'll be right back. We're gonna get into this review. I ain't gonna waste no time. I won't run my mouth. I'm so excited.
We need to know what he has. Do you understand what is at stake? There's but one man standing between me and winning this election. So good. You'll lead them right to my family. You're the last man standing. It has to be you. Bring it to us. Where's my son?
That was the trailer for Heart of the Hunter. And as always, I am TeaRon. That's TeaRon, period. And it's another Tuesday, and we are doing this movie review. And you know who I am here with.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Tiera Janee. Happy to be here to do another week of reviews with my favorite person, TeaRon.
Tiera.
Yes.
We knew after our previous review of the South African series, we knew that we'd revisit something.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I didn't know that when we revisit it, that it would be this much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I expected, honestly. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that this is the follow-up.
Yeah. I see that you're excited.
I am. It's like this is the train is still, it's going. Mm-hmm. They ain't missed yet. Now we'll get into some other stuff along the way.
Oh.
Okay. I'm not gonna just because I had a really good time don't mean that I wasn't watching and have my lens on. But if you would, Tiera,
yes,
run us the synopsis of Heart of the Hunter. Let's get into this story. Let's get into this movie.
Yes. So Heart of the Hunter is about a retired assassin who's pulled back into action when his friend uncovers a dangerous conspiracy at the heart of the South African government. Woo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone, I'll be honest, reading that alone, I've seen enough action films, enough assassin movies, all this stuff, that is not unique. Mm-mm. That is something that we've seen before. A retired assassin, something happens and they reluctantly have to go back into the work, right?
Yes.
So I was like, okay, that I'm just being honest. That was my initial response. I was just like, what?
Yeah, same. I agree.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not if the story is cliche or if it is because ain't nothing new under the sun anyway. It's how you tell the story. It's how you shoot it. It's how you deliver it. Mm-hmm. It's very easy for an assassin action film to be corny, to be filled with all of the same niches and stuff like that. So if you don't have a clear vision of how you want it to go, it's going to be another action movie. Mm-hmm. I say that to say this. Heart of the Hunter is not that. Okay? So Heart of the Hunter stars Bonko Khoza, who plays Zuko, who is our retired assassin, and a couple other people. It also stars Sisanda Henna, who is playing Daza Matima, who is our villain in the film. And we also have Connie Ferguson as, they just call her Mo, but I think her actual character's name was Molabogang.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes.
And then we also have Peter Butler as John Klein. So we'll touch on some other characters as we go through. But these are essentially our some of our main characters. So at the beginning, when the movie opens, we pretty much get action straight out.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love getting straight to it. No drug out like montages or overhead shots and all this stupid stuff. We came right into it like, okay, here's the drama, not drama.
Come on, drama.
And so the tone was set for me early on, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to enjoy this. When it started out for you, what was your response? Because they didn't waste time.
No, they didn't, and I appreciated that. It was out the gate, and I was like, okay, it caught my attention because a lot of times I keep it a buck. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get into a new movie or something. It takes me a while to get hooked, but they caught me first couple seconds. I said, oh, okay, we're having an action movie. All right.
I also love, and this is played out, of course, later through the film. I also love that the assassin himself used, even though he had all these other skills, I also love that he used this like spear kind of thing. And it was like, I was like, because that is another thing that can be corny. It can be like, stereotypical, if you will.
Yeah.
And but in the way that they eventually explain the meaning behind it and stuff, I was like, okay, I appreciate it. Also, I just love seeing him work with it.
Yeah.
There was a young man at the beginning of the movie when they're going after a young assassin. They're fighting in that random house in the middle of nowhere. And I don't know his name, but whoever was he was phenomenal. He was kicking ass.
Yes.
He was doing his thing. And then they got him at the end of that beginning scene, which set us up for our villain, Matima, played by Sisanda Henna.
Yes.
I have seen Sisanda's career play out over a long period of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was introduced to his work some years back, and I've seen, let me put it this way. I've seen him play several things. He's been a bad guy before. I don't think Sisanda had as much fun as he did with this.
Listen, he was such a good villain.
Well, speak your mind, Mo.
Daza, this is the last time I can sanction an op like this.
Well, you know what they say, Mo.
You cannot have an omelet
without breaking a few eggs. You either in or you out.
I loved watching him. I was like, I know I'm supposed to not like him because he's the villain, he's the bad guy. But I loved every time he popped up on that screen. I
like my villains to villain.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I like, and this is what I was telling you, we have conversations all the time, but when I was telling you about like villain characters in like comic books, like Batman or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the Joker. And I think the reason that the Joker is an incredible villain is because there's no real explanation for his villain.
Why he's mean.
Right? We don't need his backstory, because if you do that, you're going to make us empathize with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then his villainous ways are like, oh, there's a reason and a purpose. He's not just evil for evil's sake. In this movie, we don't fully understand why Matima is cruel.
No.
And a jerk and an asshole and all these things. But that is what makes it great.
I love it. And I like that we just got right to it. There was really no lead in to him being like the villain or like lead into how he became a part of this story. Like, no, we just saw him in his villainous ways.
You water it down when you do that. You water down the severity of your character that you mean to be like threatening.
Yeah.
You water it down when you give them reason.
Yeah.
They don't need reason.
Yeah.
So we lead into that. We get to see him doing his thing. And we also get to see him communicating with Mo, played by Connie Ferguson, who who is taking orders from Matima?
It was our forefathers. Being up. Bebilela amabhulu. And they'd close us on the outside. Asivalela ngaphandle. It's almost harvest time.
Here's what I was confused about a little bit.
Okay.
I know that Matima is running for president. We know that that's his goal. It's a political move on his part.
Mm-hmm.
And he's calling orders to this special ops team, if you will, to carry out these missions to eliminate people who could otherwise threaten his campaign.
Correct.
That's the idea. What I never really got clear, and you can let me know if maybe you did, is I did not know what the organization was per se.
Yeah.
I didn't know if these were people that just worked for Matima privately, but how could that be if they had all of this technology? Because they got to plug it up somewhere. So
yes.
So the light company, the electric company, gonna know that there's power going to somewhere.
Yes.
So I didn't. That wasn't clear for me. But did you?
No, I also struggled with that, and the name on it was like special something agency. I can't remember what the actual name of it was, but it was not, like you said, it's not clear of who they were, if they were for the government, they were working with the government. I mean, clearly what they were doing was not like in the shadows. Everyone seemed to be well aware that these people existed. To me, it was like, it's not a secret that these people exist. They're very much out in the open and they have a lot of power. So I don't know if that was like a part of like governmental corruption. I don't know. I was a little bit unclear on that as well, but it didn't stop me from enjoying this movie. So you let me know what you find.
It was the PIA.
PIA.
Which, yeah.
Private Intelligence Agency. Was that what it was?
That's a good question. That sounds right. That
sounds good to me.
But the PIA was the ones who were taking carrying out all these orders from Matima.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the conflict is that there are people from Matima's past who want to expose him, and some of those people happen to be trained assassins. So we get Peter Butler as John Klein, and he's the one that sets off everything in motion.
Yeah.
So at first we see Zuko, and this is another. So this was I'm pointing out the plot holes early because everything else I like. So Zuko, we see he's working in a mechanic shop. He's got a lady, and as a kid, who, by the way, I love this kid. First of all, this is the cutest kid.
He
ever.
was so stinking cute.
The kid was Boleng Mogotsi, and that's the actor's name, but his character was, what was it, Paka or something like that. But he was a perfect kid.
He was so cute.
But what I was unsure of was when they show us in the flashback Zuko getting with the lady who, let me see if I can see. I got her name. Was Masasa Mbagini. That's the actor's name. Who played Malime Mambi, who is the mother in this of the kid. Yeah. What I was unsure of was, had they known each other prior to the kid? Or did he come to her as a retired assassin and she kind of was like in on the thing? And then they developed a relationship because he was there hiding out with her.
See, I just assumed that they met after he retired. I didn't get the sense that she was around before.
That's what I was unsure about, was because it was like a timeline thing. The only reason I started to kind of be like, okay, wait, he just now is getting, or he's just now starting to get romantic with her, was when they dropped the kid off at school, and the kid is referring to Zuko by his first name.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh, wait, this is not his kid.
Right. Correct.
That's the only thing that made me start to realize. I said, "Oh, this is not his kid." And then, of course, we get the flashback and we see him meeting the kid for the first time.
Yeah.
And so he was sort of becoming a father figure and accepting the kid. But all in all, I liked seeing the romance between Malime and Zuko play out without us going so deep into it that we got off track from the action of the film. Here's the person that I wanted to punch in the back of their head. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but I'm going to try my best. Nicole Fortune. Maybe
it's Fortune. Oh, Fortune. Maybe it's Fortune.
I'm gonna say Nicole Fortune. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. But she was actually really, really good in her role.
Yeah, she was. I enjoyed her.
It was at this point, now that I said that, it was at this point that I wanted to punch Naledi in the back of her head.
Why?
I knew this movie meant business when we finally get to the point that they are trying to escape.
Okay, that part. Okay, got it. Are you gonna spoil it?
Spoiler.
Oh Lord, that means yes.
Spoiler, y'all.
Jesus.
So we get up on that roof situation.
Yeah.
Naledi, she's athletic. She's a fighter. Although some of the parts I felt like in her fight scene when she was fighting the two guys in the hall there, there should have been a bit more of a struggle with that bigger guy. But that's just my nitpicking.
You know what? She might have some little.
She didn't break him down for him to go down like he did. But that's me picking at nits. I promise you.
Per usual. Go ahead.
Promise you.
Go ahead and spoil
it. So, I just wish there was a bit more. Anyway.
Yeah.
So they get on that roof, and since Naledi is, an assassin, she does this for a living. She clears that jump onto the what do you call those? That platform.
Barefoot.
The scaffolding.
Yeah.
That's
barefoot. No shit.
And she wants Malime, a mother who works in the market who does not do this, to clear that same jump.
Come on. You have to do this. Hey, come on.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so it's going to be a back and forth, and then she's going to jump, and they're going to get away, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. That's what you expect in these movies. You expect cliches.
You do, yeah.
When she jumped,
and she hit that thing.
She missed it.
Yo, she hit that.
First of all, I hate in movies, because we've seen this a million times. Someone is jumping, and they're on the edge of something, and they're holding on by one arm, or someone grabs them with one arm at the last minute.
That's what I thought was happening.
That's what I thought we were gonna go. But that's impossible most of the time. Unless the person pulling you has extreme upper body strength, or you have extreme upper body strength,
you hold on,
hanging on something for that long. And I'm glad that they did not give us that again. They did not come to play when they made this movie.
Yeah.
The thing that would have happened likely in real life is what happened in this film.
Yes.
She jumped. She almost made it. She couldn't hold on. Boom.
Done.
But then I was like,
that was the moment where I audibly gasped. Like I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, because I could not predict it.
Yeah.
And I love that. We see Zuko make his way to getting to Matima because he believes that Matima has the kid, right? And I want to know, I'll say what I thought about this final scene, truthfully. But let me know what you thought. So we get into that final scene. Zuko gets with Matima, ties him up, this whole thing. And then we get outside and there's a whole thing. What did you think of that?
Yeah, couple things. So I liked seeing Zuko and Matima in the same screen, like in the same scene, like together.
Yeah.
I like that. Like that was coming a long time coming throughout the whole film. So I love seeing the both of them because I felt like both of them were really strong characters. So to see them kind of like match each other's energy in that, I thought was dope. I really enjoyed that. And then it was like the hero of it all, meeting up with the villain of it all. So like it was perfect. Except for in my head, I'm like, a guy like Matima, a guy like Matima is going to have way more security than what was shown in this movie. So there's no way that this could have ended the way that it ended because he would have had his shooters on deck. Like there's no way he would have just been in the house with the 1-2 that Zuko knocked out or whatever. No, shooters on deck. On deck.
Yeah. especially in this heated thing, and they know that he's out there and all this stuff is happening.
Yes.
You think they would have beefed up security a bit more.
Yes.
So yeah, we see him like, take on a few people all along the way. But like you said, it wasn't as packed as you think it would be.
Nah.
And that's another thing too, in action movies is that like nameless characters can't shoot worth nothing.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It's
they
like,
can never hit a target.
Did you train?
They can have an automatic assault rifle and they be spraying and they never hit the hero. So
it's so true.
We didn't get that here.
Yeah,
we did not get that in this movie, which I appreciated. But it happens a lot. So I'm glad they stayed away from that a little bit. But I do see your point. I would say this with that culmination of them coming together and it being a whole thing. I kind of expected Matima and Zuko to have more of a individual fight sequence.
Okay.
Than what happened.
I see that. Mm-hmm.
But I guess in this story, I think it's because Sisanda is such a big dude,
mm-hmm.
like in real life, that I expected there to be some kind of more physical things happening between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll justify it by saying in this, Matima is just a jerk politician with power.
Correct. He's not necessarily a fighter.
Yeah. So I wanted that, but I think I wanted that for my own selfish reasons, just because I would have liked to see how it got played out.
Yeah.
Like the fight choreography in this movie was on point.
Yeah.
The chase scenes were on point. So for it to get to a point where he pretty much gets the best of him pretty quickly, ties him up, and then he gets them to bring the boy.
What happened to the music, guys? Are we playing hide and seek?
So even though we did not get the fight sequence that I wanted with Matima and Zuko, we did get that fight sequence between Zuko and TeaRon, the actor playing Tiger de Klerk, who that fight sequence I did enjoy because it was coming throughout the movie. They wanted a piece of each other. They had a little piece during that helicopter sequence, which, by the way, the smartest person in the whole movie is the pilot, the helicopter pilot.
I knew you were going to say that.
Bro was like, look, I don't want no smoke. What's up?
Mm-mm.
They said, start the engine. He said, okay.
He said, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
Drop me off over here. Cool. I got you. He said, do I got to use this weapon? No, player. What you need? You want some snacks? I got you. So that ended up coming to, and I think that, it wasn't the payoff that I wanted, but it still was a really good sequence. And of course we get the kid being shown because Zuko is about to finish it. The kid gets brought out and we see this happen a lot of times in movies. They bring out, the villains bring out the hostage, the person that they're trying to save or whatever. And that, stops the person in their tracks and et cetera, et cetera. So we see that play out. I think I kind of seen Mo turning on Matima in my mind's eye. But when the way it actually happened, I did not expect. What about you?
I will agree. The way it happened, I did not expect. But I liked how it happened. I like how it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier with the other things, this is kind of, if this was happening in real life, this is probably how it would go.
Mm-hmm.
It would not be you get to get a whole monologue and then
Come on, monologue.
then I kill you.
Yeah.
That's not how this goes. He can't. When Matima came out there and he was running his mouth, first of all, you still handcuffed, bro. Why are you running your mouth?
Because that's he's that type. He's that type of villain.
Yeah, he was really feeling himself.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, bet my people here. What's good?
Mm-hmm. Talking cash. Yep.
And then for her to turn and like just take him out, I was like, oh man. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I will give my rating here.
All right. Let's go.
So overall, casting A1. Nobody was miscast. Nobody was out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody from, like I said, the smartest helicopter pilot you ever seen to the main casting with Zuko and all of the other players. Everyone did their thing. Everyone brought what they needed to bring, and nobody wasted my time. There was the only person, like I said, I had probably was Naledi, but that was because she made that miscalculation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I was glued in, and I was captured for the whole of the film. It was the one time, and with certain movies, if it's an action movie, if it's fast paced, you have to kind of really be bringing it nowadays for me to not glance at my phone as much. I probably looked at my phone twice.
Yeah.
Through the movie, but I was actually watching the movie. I think some of that also had to do with the fact that I couldn't do much on my phone. I was on the plane.
Don't say that.
But I was glad that I was, because I got to really watch the movie.
Okay. Bringing it back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to see Sisanda doing his thing. He had a little too much fun as a villain for me.
I loved it.
I was like, oh, wait a minute, bro. You and your villain bag for real. But the perfect villain, again, a villain that is not shrouded by reason and backstory. And so we don't need it. If he's bad, he's bad. It's a movie. It's an action movie. Let us enjoy it. And then the performance from Zuko himself, Bonko, Khoza. I don't know what else he's been in, but I'm gonna find out, because he's that dude. He was great. He was freaking phenomenal. All in all, because we've been diving into our South African bag here as of late, I am going to have to give Heart of the Hunter a Queen Latifah. That's where I'm at with it. The only reason I don't go even further with it is because of some of the slight cliche moments. The fact that I just was clueless as to the organization, the actual PIA camp. I think they traded off us getting right into it without explaining that.
Yeah.
Also, they did try in the middle there to give us a background of this assassins organization and stuff, which I did appreciate. And I did enjoy that little story, but it left me wanting to know more about the assassins and stuff like that. And I knew we weren't going to get that in this movie. And the other thing is, since it ended the way that it ended, I don't foresee any possible way they could do a sequel. I don't see any possible way they could give us more. And I kind of wanted more. That's me being greedy. So that's a me thing. But overall, I'm staying at a Queen Latifah. But it was on the verge. It was getting right there. What about you, T?
Yeah. So I too enjoyed this movie. I feel like it had all the makings of a traditional action film. We had high-speed chases, we had on-foot chases, we had lots of guns, lots of violence, some shootouts, we had some hand-to-hand combat, we had a hostage, we had good guys, bad guys. It had all the
We had
makings.
everything.
We had it all. But I think it was done in a way that wasn't so cliche. It didn't feel like it was a movie I had already seen before, although it had those pieces, but they did it in a different type of a way, so I was able to enjoy it. It's interesting that you said that they ended it in a way that it really doesn't need a sequel and you wanted more. I actually see it as though this is a one-time movie. We don't need a sequel. I like how it ended. Because I feel like today everything is always left to like, oh, let's leave it open so we can get a second season or a second iteration of this. And it's like, you don't always need that. Sometimes the story can be told and that's the end of it. Like
That's true.
leave it where it is. So I appreciated that. Mhm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I appreciated the actors. I thought everyone was casted appropriately and everybody kind of did what they came to do. I appreciated that. Yeah, and I love the little boy. I just thought he was so cute. I thought he was so cute. Yeah, I really did. So for me, I think I too am going to give this a Queen Latifah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this.
Yes.
We don't actually know if Matima's dead.
Oh Lord.
So
here we go. Here we go.
If I'm just planting something
here we go.
in people's ear, we seen him go down, but is he dead?
You know what? Leave Matima dead, but I will take a Matima prequel. I'll take that because I just loved him as a character. So I'm cool with that. We'll leave him dead.
We want prequel.
We'll do a prequel. Don't try to
I'm
tell
just saying,
me.
is he dead?
He did. Don't tell me that he's not.
If you have been watching this and you made it this far, we appreciate you. You are watching this on YouTube. You can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you are notified of everything that we're doing on this channel, not just the movie reviews, but all of the other shenanigans, interviews, all the fun that we have here. You can always find me on Instagram at TeaRon World, on TikTok at TeaRon with 2 underscores. We have not yet been banned on TikTok as we're recording this, so that's a blessing. And you can also email us, ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com. If you want to send us recommendations or send some love, advice on how we can improve the Ubiquitous Blacks experience and improve our YouTube channel, et cetera, go ahead and send those recommendations through. Tiera, where can they find you?
Yes, you also can find me at All Things Ubiquitous Black. So hit me up there if you'd like, but also come holla at me over on my YouTube channel. It's at Tiera Takes. I'm over there doing travel content. So come by and check me out and see what's up and subscribe and keep up with me. Also, you can check me out on my website. It's tieratakes.com and you can find me there. And I'm going to do what I always do and echo TeaRon and say, send us some recommendations, y'all. We need some more things to watch. We be building out this list. Listen, we're limited. We only know what we know. So please send us some stuff. And I do want to say, since we've reviewed a couple of South African pieces, I want to see something a little bit more lighthearted from South Africa. What we've seen thus far has been a little heavy, a little.
I like the action. I like it.
TeaRon loves the action. Me, I'm like, can we get something a little softer? So
you want to watch us? There was that love story that Carol, but we skipped it.
Well, should we go back to it? We need some love. Let's go back to something soft and lighthearted. But yeah, whatever that is, please send it our way. We would appreciate it so much.
Well, I appreciate what South Africa is producing.
Yeah.
And giving us something to enjoy and work with. I'm not complaining at all. So until we see you all next time on another Tuesday movie review.
Bye, y'all.